Hi everybody, I'm here today with Hayley Weesey and we're going to bring you some really good tips, tools and information on how you can manifest. So basically, using the power of manifestation to create a life that you deserve and a life that you want, as opposed to just kind of plodding along with life or maybe feeling like you're stuck or struggling. There might be financial issues and things like that. So we're going to try and really give you some really great things to pull yourself out of that and create a life that you're creating, consciously.
Yeah, so we're going to describe what is manifesting, because some people might know or think they know what it is, but it might be something completely different. How you can actually do it in different forms, because there's not just one way to actually create your own reality, and why it's really important to actually focus on what you're manifesting, because people manifest without even knowing they're manifesting, because you can manifest like good and bad in life. So what is the definition for manifesting?
So the coolest one that we found online was using your inner light to make something come to life. So I really love that, because like Hayley just said, we all have the power to create the life that we desire, and we are actually all doing that now. So if you are stuck in any situation, or there's any kind of struggles happening, or financial issues like I was talking about, you are actually creating this. And as tough as that can be to swallow and go, hang on a sec, I'm responsible for all this stuff. It's actually a really empowering thing to hear and to know
and take ownership of.
And it takes you out of victim mentality and victim mode and lack mindset, and it gives you back the power that we all have innately inside us to create amazing lives that we really came here to do and that we all deserve. So so using your inner light, so that's something that we all have within us. We might not be expressing it at all times, or we might not be connected to it, but it's something that we all have, and we use that to either create something that we want, or maybe some things that we don't want. And we do that through the power of our thought, our subconscious mind, through our belief systems, through what we've been taught to believe our whole lives about certain things. So it might be money, health, where we fit into society. Basically everything that we've grown up believing affects the reality that we're creating. So we're going to try and give you some ways to break out of some of those things that don't serve us in the best possible way, and some of those things that really limited us and affect us in a negative way.
So different types of manifesting. I mean, we can do it with thought. A lot of people, thinking things, and it's quite often, like Jane was saying, these can be the stories that we're telling. We can do it through affirmations, both positive and negative.
Yeah, definitely.
Like for money, for instance, what would be a negative affirmation of money? Like,
so if you might find yourself, even just, I can't afford that.
Yeah, that's a shocking one, because often you can, it's just not a priority.
Yeah.
So it's changing those word systems that we use.
And if you think, when you become mindful of this stuff, if you think about, maybe your family members or your friends, you become mindful of conversations with people, and you might start thinking, you're talking to your mum or your dad, and it's that, oh, my knee hurts and my back hurts and I'm sick, and all of these things, and they're just,
it's genetic.
Yeah, it's genetic.
It's genetic.
But yeah, you'll notice that we are, as a society as a whole, I think, in this really bad habit of talking about the bad things, the lack, the not enoughs, and when we do that, because of the power of the spoken word and the power of our thoughts, we're amplifying that, and we're attracting more of that to us.
Yes. Which you don't want to do.
No.
Unless it's the good stuff.
Yes.
So to try and, I guess, come into some of the more good stuff, we can use affirmations, we can use journaling is another good one, vision boards, visualization. Yes. So these are all different forms of trying to attract different positive things, whatever it is, into your life. You love Louise Hay, don't you?
I love, yeah. So anyone who knows me knows I love Louise Hay. But Louise Hay, I love her because she changed my life. I was one of those people that was always walking around talking about how bad I had it, how bad my life was, poor me, I'm sick, I'm tired, I've got a bloody thing wrong with my knee. I was that person.
That was always a really good reason for you to say that, right? I'm sure you have lots of excuses.
Yes,
You know what I
I
mean?
did,
Stories that we keep telling ourselves. Like, you've got 3 kids now, and all of these, it's just.
Yeah. So I spent a lot of my life really, amplifying and manifesting all of the things that I didn't want. And Louise Hay's book, You Can Heal Your Life, just flipped a switch in my head to go, hang on a sec, I'm creating all of this stuff that I don't want in my life. I actually have the power to change it just with the way that I think and the way that I speak about things. So now for me, affirmations are a daily habit. And if I feel myself getting into any kind of negative mindset, I flip it with affirmations. So if I start thinking in a lack way about money or bills, I flip it. And my latest affirmation that I love, and it's pretty much my 2018 mantra, is I'm in an infinite stream of abundance with the universe. So I just stop, close my eyes, and just repeat it over and over and over again. I don't even say it out loud, like in my head. If I'm driving the car somewhere and I'm thinking about all the bills that have to be paid, I just pull myself out of that. I'm in an infinite stream of abundance with the universe.
And what I love about that is it's current tense, like it already exists.
Yeah.
It's not saying I will or I hope. Like, they're probably the 2 most wishy-washy words you could ever possibly use if you're starting to do this process. So remove them from your vocabulary right now and just start to use, like, I am.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
I am fit and healthy. I am abundant.
Yeah.
I am that next promotion at work. Whatever it is that you're working towards, just feel it and be it, like, in the current tense.
Yeah, because our subconscious mind actually only picks up on really the key words. So if you say, like, I want to, I want, or you talk about you add the negative things in, your subconscious mind will hear that, and you'll start to create actions that bring more of that to you. So it's the same with the universe. It's not just like woo-woo hippie rubbish. This is completely backed by quantum physics.
Law of attraction, people.
So everyone would have heard of the law of attraction, surely, but what we are putting out energetically is what we're bringing back in. So when you start to be mindful of the things that you're saying and the thoughts that you're having and the actions that you're taking, you can see how you're attracting these things in. You're attracting these people in to have conflict with you. You're attracting the bills turning up in the mailbox. You're doing all of that stuff just by your thoughts, which then control your actions. So super powerful stuff when you can flip it and you can change it and you can start to create some magic in your life.
Cool. So let's give them some tools now about how you can actually start to flip it in a positive way. So the first thing, I guess, is awareness.
Yes.
So listening to yourself. And what I mean by that is, like, everyone talks to themselves in their head, and if you're saying, I don't really talk to myself in my head, you just talk to yourself in your head. So we all have these stories that we play, and just being aware of that, I think, is first.
Yes.
And realizing where you're limiting yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Once you are aware of it, I guess then we can start to figure out, well, what do you want to do? Like, how do you want to change? Where do you want to go? What do you feel like your purpose is here? Do you have something like a little fire burning inside of you that's just like, no, there's more here. There's more here, but you don't know how to ask for it.
Yeah.
So you can do little things like a vision board is a beautiful thing to start, isn't it?
Amazing thing, yeah.
Because even if you don't know exactly where you want to go, start pulling out words or pictures or images of things that bring you joy. And not just things you like or that are fun, but they actually truly bring you joy and happiness.
Yeah.
And put them up in a really beautiful, like, space that you see every single day in the bedroom or in a hallway. And it really starts to align with things that you want to start attracting more into your life.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely.
What about tapping? Or should we talk about tapping a little bit more later? That's probably a bit more heavy.
Yeah.
Let's use a bit more fluffy stuff. Post-it notes.
Yeah, so just like things that you can have around the house. You can stick it on the fridge. You can stick it on your desk. You can have it in your wallet. Yeah, just everywhere. So you can start affirming, whatever it is that you want to achieve. So for me with doTERRA, it might be I am doTERRA Diamond. And I'll put a specific date to that. So I am doTERRA Diamond on or before a certain date. And so Haley's just showing her phone. So we put things as screensavers, reminders in our phone, on the fridge.
If you want a holiday, put a photo of the behind, like wherever you want to go, as a screensaver. So you're attracting opportunities or the income or whatever it is needs so you can get there.
Yeah, definitely. And it's that subconscious thing where we're continually being exposed to it, and now we start to take actions to get us to that point of where we want to be. So super powerful. It doesn't have to be fancy. If you think a vision board is way too overwhelming, literally get a notepad and a paper and write down what you want to attract and stick it down. For me, I get my calendars and my daily task thing, and I usually write down whatever it is I'm attracting, and I'm writing it every month. I'm rewriting it on the calendar. I'm rewriting it every week on my fridge, just to kind of, you know, remind myself about what I'm trying to attract.
And writing down is actually something that's that next level. So we can think about stuff, and I do a lot of thinking and not so much writing, but it is something that I'm conscious of. So if you do actually physically write it down, that has power, that has energetic, you know, power. And you can do that. We enhance that with our oils, and we can go through that in a little bit as well, and how we enhance it. You can enhance it with crystals if that's your thing, but it's intention. Yeah. That you're actually physically writing it down. And you'll be surprised how hard it is to actually write down I am, something that you may necessarily not believe in. And that's where you want to really talk about self-belief and feeling worthy. Yeah. Because even if you don't, if there's something inside you that really is stuck and you don't feel worthy, even though you're writing it down, then all of a sudden your energy is still going to be repelling it. And that's why I think we talk about tapping. Yeah, because for me, this is the only thing that's really shifted that subconscious programming, which really has happened probably in childhood and we had no control over it. It's been stories or things that we've heard or watched that is making us think a certain way. Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. So do you want to run? I guess we love Brad Yates. He's like our guru. So if you haven't tapped before, you don't know what tapping or EFT is, emotional freedom technique. But basically it's just tapping on meridian points on the body. And saying some things. So we love Brad Yates. He's got a whole YouTube channel. If you haven't heard of him, it makes it super easy because you can he's got an app as well, actually, that I've just discovered. I saw that, yeah. But it makes it easy because most of them are free as well, and you can just click on whatever is resonating with you and follow along with him and repeat what he is saying. So it really doesn't get any easier than that. And how it works, because I'm a bit more of like, this has to be like, what's actually coming here, because you've got meridian lines in the body, but by tapping on them, it's short-circuiting your subconscious. So rather than just being in the mirror and saying, you know, your beautiful affirmation of I'm, what was it? Infinite. I'm in an infinite stream of abundance with the universe. But if you're really programmed into repelling money, it's probably not going to work. But if you're tapping and saying the exact same thing while you're looking in the mirror, you're actually turning off of that little voice that's programming and allowing yourself to reprogram your brain much faster. So this can work for not only attracting positive things, about changing mindsets, about relationships, about health and discomfort that you have in your body. You can tap on anything. You can tap on anything. Absolutely anything. So I would just look it up. Yeah. Look it up. It's as a daily practice, it's been another thing that's been completely life-changing for me. And I find when I'm tapping every day and setting that time aside, things are flowing a lot easier. And you can do it in the private of your own home. It doesn't cost you anything. There is no excuses here on money whatsoever. Yeah. And you can do it in the car while you're waiting at a traffic light. You can do it whenever. Even if you're overwhelmed as well, it's just like tap and breathe. Even if you don't even know what you're doing. Just tap and breathe and come back to a bit of calm. Yes. Okay. Yeah, so definitely affirmations, but they're probably my favourite thing. Again, they're totally free. And a lot of this is free, a pen, a paper. It just doesn't get any easier than that. Just affirming the good stuff. And gratitude, we've spoken about too before we jumped on here, is probably one of the biggest tools that's necessary for you to manifest great stuff. So even when things seem like, you're down and out, and everything's, going badly, if you can bring it back to gratitude and just start to think about the things that are going right, even if you feel like there's not many, but start finding the good things in every single day, that's when you begin to attract more of that into yourself. And one of the things that I love as well from Louise Hay, again, this is another great book, Angels of Abundance. Amazing. All of her stuff's good, but Angels of Abundance is another one I love. But she talks about the way that even when you feel down and out, if you feel like you're in a financial hole, you just feel like everything's on top of you and there's no way out, start to think, obviously, gratitude, but think as well, you've got to this point and all your needs have been met. You've got this far. You've still got a roof over your head, you've still got a bed to sleep in, you've got food in the fridge, you've got this far. So the universe has provided for you to this point.
But basically, there's always an option that we can always pull ourselves out of this, and we can always create abundance in our lives, even if we don't see it.
And what you said, like, you know, it's just as easy to manifest buttons as it is to manifest money. You know, you can, well, $1 million,
$1 million,
a million buttons.
Yeah.
It's just what you're more comfortable with.
Yeah.
So again, it's us what we are aligning with and what we're comfortable with. So,
and some of you might be like manifesting already, because I know it's quite popular in our team. But you know, and I hear a lot of people say like, oh, I go down to the shops and I get a car park every time. No matter where I go, I get a car park. So if you can be super solid with manifesting a car park, you can literally be super solid with manifesting anything else. The only thing that's holding you back is your own limiting beliefs and your lack mindset when it comes to that thing. So if you start viewing that thing that you feel is way out of your grasp as easy to bring into your life as the car park that you always get, that's when things start to really change.
Big time.
Yeah.
So these could be little rituals that you have. Like you might, like every morning I wake up and I think, what am I grateful for? Like even if it's something as small as that in a few seconds, that you just start your day on a positive note. For me, it might be grabbing an essential oil, some wild orange, which is the oil of abundance, and just smelling it before you even get out of bed. You know, it smells delicious and it's a great way to start your day, but it is actually getting my mindset where I want it to be and the intentions that I want to set. Yeah,
definitely. Wild orange is probably like my favorite again as well. Very cheap option, oil to use. There's no excuses here for money or lack mindset. Inhale it out of the bottle, just a drop in your hands, rub together. I like to actually write my intentions down or write what I'm trying to attract, put a drop in my hands, breathe it in, read them out, as simple as that. Magic literally happens when I do that.
Yeah. And you can add a few other ones to it as well. I love patchouli. Patchouli is all the physicality, especially for when you're super busy and, you know, we're both mums here and got kids, and it's amazing when we can actually be present without 1,000 things going through. So that helps out all the physicality. Yep. Ginger is all of empowerment. I love to incorporate ginger. Cypress is motion and flow.
Cypress is motion and flow.
To ensure that we're not stuck in any kind of mindset.
And just releasing anything that's stagnant and all of those things that hold us back and are blocking us.
Spagna. Your favourite. Oil of gratitude.
Yeah, oil of gratitude. If you do one thing in your day, have gratitude.
If you need some more confidence, add in some cassia. That's the oil of self-assurance. That's like a kick up the bum.
Yeah.
It really is. If you're like, oh, I don't want to do that, or I don't want to have that conversation, it's like, just get the cassia out, because it's amazing.
And sometimes even with these like tools that we're giving you, they're so simple. But if you are blocking yourself or in any kind of lack mindset and limiting, you know, mindset, these little tasks you won't actually complete.
Yeah.
And a lot of that comes down to self-belief, self-love, and self-worth. And to really manifest all of the amazing things that you want, you know, you can do as many vision boards and write as many affirmations and lists as you want, but unless you actually believe inside of you that you deserve these things, you're not going to attract them to you. They're just always going to be out of reach. So really working on and affirming to yourself, I do deserve this. I am worthy of this. Even if you don't believe it to start with. Even if you don't believe it, just thinking it, saying it, writing it. You don't have to write it if you're, you know, blocking yourself that much, but saying, I deserve this and I'm worthy of this. And the more you do that, the more you start to come around and actually really, truly believe, yep, I am worthy of this.
And I think the other thing is once you start to do that, you actually realise you start to attract different types of people into your life, because you are actually a sum of pretty much the 5 people you spend your most time with. So if you're finding it's probably like a very long-winded situation that you're in, just be mindful of who you're spending your most time with and the stories they're telling themselves, and if you're taking that on yourself as well, because it's going to make it a lot harder to break those patterns if all of a sudden you do really, really well, but then you go back into a situation where everyone else is back on that old negative stream. So you might just need to spend a little less time with those people and try and attract a few more people of similar mindset of the direction you're wanting to head in, just to make it a little bit easier. Not that you don't love those people, it's just...
Yeah, and you can make that as part of your intention. You know, I'm attracting to me people who are like-minded, who are inspiring. You know, you can write all of these qualities down, which is exactly what I did with Hayley. But there's
we didn't know each other 2 years ago.
There's a lot of power in that. I literally wrote a list of the type of person that I wanted to attract, and we had a chance encounter in a class, and here we are. But there's so much power in that. So think about, you know, who are you spending your time with? Are they draining your energy? Are they, you know, creating positivity or negativity in your life? And what kind of people do you want to have more of in your life, really?
And so really after this, we can set anchors with this. So say we have a certain goal, or you might have something that you want to achieve. You can either intuitively pick a blend for yourself, or we can use something like this beautiful I Am Fabulous book, which has already created blends. So this one is More Money blend, and what was it? Momentum.
Yeah. So these
More Than Enough Manifesting blend. That's a beautiful one.
Yeah.
So it's got a list of all the oils. But then the beautiful thing about this book is it actually tells you why these oils have been selected from an energetic perspective. So we've talked a little bit about tapping and how that works in the body, but do you just want to explain a little bit about why oils work on an energetic level as well? How they enhance?
You're probably better with the words. I'm more of just a feeler.
She's a feeler.
She's the brains trust.
Yeah. So all oils have an energetic property to them. Everything that's organic does. Trees do, plants do, humans do. And that's why when we meet someone, we get a good vibe or a bad vibe. You know, or that's our intuition. We'll kind of go, I shouldn't, you know, walk down that street at 9 o'clock at night. It looks a bit dodgy. Or I shouldn't eat that piece of cheese that's been sitting out on the counter a little bit too long. Normally as women, we have really good intuition, but a lot of the time we just don't listen to it. So you can actually close your eyes, and whatever you've got available to you, you can intuitively pick. You can do that with cards. You've got cards. You can intuitively pick cards, and all of a sudden, wow, fancy doing that card. You know, it's not a coincidence, guys. Not what happens over and over and over again. Yeah. But the other thing is the reason what you're doing is when you're closing your eyes, or you're setting an intention, and you're tapping into the oils, is you're tapping into their frequency. You're tapping into their vibes and what they offer from an emotional perspective. So Emotions and Essential Oils is a beautiful book. But you know how we're saying wild orange is the oil of abundance. Cassia is the oil of self-assurance. Patchouli is the oil of physicality. They've all got purposes. And when we're tapping into it with an intention of like, what do I need? Or what is going to support me in this area? Close your eyes and you will start to either see or feel movement. You know, when you close your eyes, I can kind of see like light and flickering. That's how some people feel different temperatures. Yeah. It just depends what you tap into. Yeah. And you put your finger down on a bottle, 99% you're going to read that book and there's something that you're going to go, wow, that's really connected with what I'm asking for right now. Yeah. So what they've done with these is they've actually gone through all of the emotional resonance in these oils and they've aligned them to help people manifest better and remove blocks that might have.
Yeah, so I love that. The Manifestors blend and the More Money blend are my favourite. And you can get the awesome stickers from Aroma Tools as well that come out of I Am Fabulous book. And when I find when I'm using these guys that I'm just creating magic. I add spikenard to both of these just because it's the oil of gratitude. And I think if you've got gratitude in absolutely everything that you do, then, you know, you're going to attract more amazing stuff to you, basically. Yeah. Yeah.
And I think at the end of the day, I mean, even science backs this up for the skeptics out there. They can actually test the frequency of, especially doTERRA oils because of their purity. Yeah. doTERRA oils are very different, by the way, to anything else. If you go to anyone who actually tests energy on things and substances and you can do that on all sorts of things, like with food or water. Is this going to serve my body with intolerances? Yeah. So the same thing with the oils. Does this make my body strong? Does this make my body weak? Is this going to benefit me? So they've tested like rose essential oil at something like 360 megahertz. It's one of the highest vibrational frequency natural substances in the world. Yeah. So it's extremely powerful.
And we can really use the oils too to like raise our vibration because when you are manifesting some of the stuff that you don't want into your life, it's usually because you're in a lower vibration. So things like guilt or shame really drag us down into some low vibrational states, and we start to bring in all the other things that are associated with that. So if you can raise your vibration, you know, into peace and joy and love and
gratitude. Gratitude is going to be the first and easiest thing to start to raise your vibration.
Yeah.
And when you're
it's like the vehicle between you and where you want to be.
And even if you have the shittest day ever, if you can just find something to be grateful for, you'll find the next day will be better.
Yeah.
Or your mood will be better. Or something nice will just all of a sudden happen.
Definitely.
So, yeah, gratitude's big.
Yeah.
But we're talking about manifesting, and I guess the main reason why you would manifest is just to know that you have the power to change the situation. They say, well, we're not trees. You don't have roots, just move. If you don't like where you are, move.
Yeah.
And you might have to move energetically to start with. You might have to just move in your mindset and the stories. But either way, you've got to shift where you currently are, or you're going to keep creating more of what you don't want.
Yeah.
So manifesting, good or bad, you're already doing it. So if you learn the benefits and the power of it and the tools that you have available to you, that's going to make your life heaps better.
Yeah, it's life-changing, really. It's completely life-changing, you know, and some of you may have never experienced any of this before. Some of you might be doing it already. Some of you might be in that, you know, completely life-changing phase. But it's just that mindfulness and awareness, because life is not always going to be perfect. There's always going to be, you know, crappy times and bad days. But when you have this awareness and this mindset, it's very easy to just pull yourself back and get back into the flow and the easiness and, you know, that those places that you want to be, which is love, which is peace, which is joy. That's what we all strive for at the end of the day. So, yeah.
There's some beautiful books and some beautiful resources. So just before we finish up, I guess, because the reason we were doing it now was because of the 31st of January, and everyone's like, well, that's the end of the month, so what? It's actually a very important cosmically because it's a bit of a supermoon. Actually, It's a super blue blood moon.
Blue blood moon.
So what is a super blue blood moon?
Okay, so it's the supermoon is its closest to the Earth.
So it looks really big.
It's huge, cool. Yeah. And then, you know, the moon is so energetically powerful. Like, it controls a lot of things on the earth. Like, we would not be able to survive without.
Well, also, like, what I found, I was doing a course it was ages ago now, but she said about, like, the water.
Yeah, the currents in the ocean, everything.
Yeah, and king tides normally happen on full moons.
Yeah.
But because we're, like, 70% water.
Yeah, so that's exactly.
Do you know how people always go, it's a full moon, you go crazy? It's like literally the full of the moon, it's having a pull on us. So, yeah, this one is particularly big. So if you're feeling, you might even be feeling it already, a little bit out of sorts. Things might be going a little bit haywire. This is the time to really start to listen to what is still like, is there roadblocks? And maybe it's the world, the universe is trying to send you in a different direction. Like, now's the time to listen to the signals that have been thrown your way.
And sometimes these things come up as well so that we can clear them and get past them. Or sometimes they come up in our face, so it's like, okay, well, I don't want any more of this. Yeah. Let's move in a different direction. But basically, you can use this time to really set some intentions for this whole year and, you know, start to visualize and, you know, write down what it is you want to achieve.
So the blue moon, just to finish, is twice in a month.
Yeah, twice in the month.
So that happens a little bit more frequently, but not a lot. The blood moon is a bit more rare. That's a total lunar eclipse.
That's a lunar eclipse, yeah.
So the fact that all of these three things are happening at the same time is, what, 155 years ago or something?
150 years, yeah, once in 150 years.
So this is, you know, the only time in our lifetime that we're going to have these things aligned, which means that there is huge potential here for shift. Now, shift is uncomfortable.
Yes.
And things might be conflicting here, but if you be kind to yourself and use this time and your tools, it can be very beneficial. Like you said, set yourself up for the next 6 months, a year.
An extremely powerful time to be manifesting, and, whether it's big or small. I always like to, when I'm manifesting, go really big. Don't limit yourself.
It's scary.
It is scary.
It's scary.
But one of the other things I think that's important to note with manifesting, which can seem very hard to get your head around, and maybe, I don't know, maybe for you because you're so like analytical, and is to not worry about the how or the why. Just know that it is.
Yeah.
So it's that complete belief
let go
that it's already happened. You know, so we still have to go and take action and do the day-to-day stuff, but sometimes these things will unfold in ways that we haven't got ticking over in our head. So it's very important not to have a dream or a vision and get stuck with the how and the why as you see it, because oftentimes that's not how it's going to unfold.
Actually, so most of the time it's probably not happening.
Yeah.
Because it's playing on such a higher level than we can even imagine yet. It's so far ahead of us. Like everything we ever dream of is already actually technically created.
Yeah.
Already.
Yeah.
We just have to allow space. So you want to talk about allowing space, like for it to come in? Because we can't actually accept anything else if we're full.
Exactly, yeah. So we have to be mindful as well of releasing and clearing out things that no longer serve us. So that's where the tapping is amazingly powerful.
Yeah.
That's why even some of our oils are really powerful as well. So something like Purify, lemongrass, get the word out, just for that cleansing, clearing space, space in your home. Cleaning out cupboards and just getting rid of clutter and things that are energetically holding us back. Something that I like to really do a lot is keep my front door and step very tidy and sweep it and clear the clutter, just so that that exchange of energy coming in, and then what I'm able to give out to the world as well is very free. So that's just something.
It's a little bit feng shui as well, like the flow of energy around your space too. You can look for. Sometimes you walk into a room and you're like, something doesn't feel quite right here. You know, it could just be the direction of the couch or the chair, or sometimes it's nice just to tap into how you're feeling. But I look at it like a glass, and this glass is empty, so I can fill it up with whatever I want. I can put juice in here, water, whatever. But if it's full, I can't put anything else in here. I actually have to empty it out. So if all of a sudden there's orange juice in here, I don't want orange juice, I've got water. If I keep putting water in, it's still going to be orange juice. I've literally got to empty out everything I don't want so I can fill in what I do want. And it's pretty much that simple.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah. So for me, there's a little few other things I use. There's some diaries. This is Danielle Laporte, who does some wonderful work. This is a diary that really prompts you more on what you're thinking. I mean, it gives you the scheduling, but it allows you to not only concentrate on things to stop doing, but the right things to do. Gratitude, things that you want to change, just making great intentions each day. Eleanor Brower she did our yoga oils. She's amazing. Yeah, she's amazing. So she's got a Practice You journal. So this is going to be really lovely for people who want to fall in love with themselves again and actually find out what is lighting that fire inside of you, because sometimes you forget because you're so focused on what the kids needs and what the husband needs and all this kind of stuff. It's like, well, who am I? Yeah. So this is a really beautiful book to reflect and to dream and to figure out before you even start manifesting. You can actually start to figure out what you actually want to manifest in the first place. And then, I've got some Leonie Dawson stuff as well. So she does both life work but also like business related. And again, these are year journals, and she does some amazing work that allows you to really focus on not only what you want, but how you want to feel when you get it. Because you got to feel it. You can't just see it. You actually have to go, okay, I see it now, but how am I feeling, living and breathing in that moment? And then you actually have created the space to align with that energy. Yeah.
And what does it mean to you? You can think, I want to drive a Maserati, but what does that Maserati reflect to you? Does that reflect, success for you and accomplishment of things that you've achieved? And why is it important for you? It's about.
It's not the Maserati. It's always something
It's about
else.
Everything else. That's it. And for us to manifest the things that we want, we have to actually be a vibrational match to those things, which is why it's very important, like we said, to be speaking in present tense, of saying I am this and I have this and I do this, rather than saying I want or I wish.
Yeah.
So even if something feels like it's in the future to you, by saying those things now, you're actually raising your vibration to match that already. And oftentimes, we need to start acting like the person driving the Maserati now to be able to be the person driving the Maserati, if that makes sense.
So how I look at this is you want to align with your values, because some people say, well, it's money or something or whatever it is, but you probably don't actually value money. You just revalue what the money's going to bring you. So you actually have to tap into what is that going to bring in to the Maserati or the nice house or the holidays or the nice clothes or whatever it is you're wanting to attract. More time, freedom, change of jobs, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But why? Why is that important to you? And then you write something, you go, okay, it's because I actually, I want to feel important. Or well, why is that important to you? Because no one ever listened to me as a kid. Well, why is that important to you? Well, I was actually always trying to get recognition from my father. It's like, you know what I mean? And all of a sudden go work on your relationship with your dad. And you might align with not aligning yourself with an object, but with the feeling of something else. And then all of a sudden you're going to get the car and get everything else and get anything anyway, because you're not tying yourself to a need. You're aligning yourself with a feeling.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's about practice, like trying to rewire, like we spoke about earlier, the belief systems that we've grown up with. And I think a lot of the times, especially like a lot of people struggle around money and things which aren't the most important, but money does give us freedom and give us time, and it's a vehicle as well to do more on this planet. But what am I saying? Our belief system. So, we grow up with all these beliefs, and we're told that, you can't be successful unless you're this or that, and that money.
Work hard.
Yeah, all of these things. So it's really important to start assessing your values and belief systems and what what they are surrounding money or career or anything really that you want to attract and achieve. If you sit down and start to think, well, why don't I have this now? And oftentimes it'll be because of the belief systems that we've had instilled in us, and 99.9% of the time, those belief systems don't serve us. So if we can overcome those, we can achieve anything. Because the universe is infinite as well.
Infinite.
So when you know that, when you understand that this is an infinite universe, anything is possible. So it doesn't matter if Hayley drives a Maserati and has 10 million in the bank. That doesn't take away from... No, I don't even want one either. But Hayley having all that stuff doesn't take away any chance of me having what I want to have as well.
Brad talks about the beach, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We can all go down the beach and we all get the exact same view of the beach. Doesn't matter how many people are on the beach, they don't obstruct anyone else's view of the beach. So, you have just as much right to that view. You have just as much right view to go out and look at the stars. And everyone has that ability to go and look at the stars, but you still have to leave your couch, get out the door and look up. Okay, you can't just sit inside saying, well, I don't see any bloody stars. Stars aren't here. That's all crap. It's like, yes, they are. They're outside. Go for a walk.
Yeah.
So you actually have to do the work. You can't just wish, but it's out there. It is there. And if we're allowed to have the same view of the ocean or the same view of the sky as everyone else, then we're allowed to have anything else we ask for as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We all, and at the end of the day, we all deserve it.
You deserve it.
You
totally deserve it, guys. Yeah. Just in case no one's told you today, you're pretty awesome. And it's everything that you want.
Yes. We all do.
We all do. Yes. So I think that's good. Cool. I think that's good. So
hopefully some tools to take away and just go and implement. Super simple stuff, just changing the way that you talk and think has huge implications.
Step 1, get a pen, get a piece of paper, and after this, turn it off and just have a think, okay, what came up for me in this, how long we've been talking, what came up for me, and the first thing that jumps into your head, write it down, and then work on that. Map it out, whatever you want to do, but figure out either is it something that you're going to positive or something that you need to change that's negative. Either way, just run with that. I think that's really the best place to start.
Yeah, definitely.
Because something would have come up for you for the year. And then what time is it by 10?
What time is it?
Times it
by 10. Yeah, 10 exit.
10 exit.
10 exit. So this is like a super scary one. But yeah, basically whatever you are wanting to manifest, it's probably more for a monetary value, but I guess you can apply it to anything. But basically if you think, okay, well, this is what I want to achieve, just 10x it. Go bigger and bigger and bigger than you could ever imagine. And it comes into that again. Don't worry about the how or the why. Just know that this is for you, and the only thing that separates you and this is just time.
That's it. Time and action.
Time and action and belief. It's just that belief. So, and know that you have the power to create the most amazing life possible just through your thoughts and your beliefs and your actions. So it's very, very simple stuff and really life-changing stuff. And we hope that you guys can take something away from this and go and create, the life of your dreams, basically.
So that's how we do it, isn't it? That's why we're doing this video. That's why we work with doTERRA. That's why we love what we do, is because we get to do this every single day with people.
Yeah.
and change people's lives, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And even
absolutely.
if it's not from a business perspective, it's still making their life better.
Yeah.
And I like that too.
Yeah, definitely.
So if you need help with this stuff, like just contact, me or Jane and send us a message, because we're more than happy. We can talk about it.
Yeah.
We love
Definitely.
it.
We love it.
We love it. And we
We
love,
do love it.
having access to different tools. And there's lots of different tools out there available to you for support. You're not on this journey alone, and no one just necessarily knows how to manifest.
Yeah.
It is a skill. You can get better at it, and I definitely am practicing. Jane's a bit of a guru.
But it's just about finding the way that works for you and the people that work for you, and like Louise Hay, there's some other, Esther and Jerry Hicks, Abraham Hicks. I don't know if you've heard of them or not. I just had these beautiful cards turn up in the mail.
Literally, as I rolled up. Actually, I'm going to store a card, and we'll finish off.
All right. So
She
this is
hasn't cracked
us.
it yet.
I haven't cracked them yet.
Have fun.
So that's.
I don't actually have any cards, but I always think, ooh,
This is an
that would be
amazing.
fun.
So they actually have there's a book, and it's called Ask and It Is Given, which basically is very much about what we're talking about today. So I haven't even looked at these yet, but let's see what the universe has in store for everybody today. Ooh.
So our intention, we like to send intentions, I think, and you can send an intention every single day. You can set an intention for your kids' first day at school. You can set an intention for how smooth your trip to the supermarket is going to be. You can set an intention for how well a conversation is going to go with a friend or with a business associate. You can literally set an intention for whatever you want, but it's a really good practice to get into, I think.
Yeah.
So let's just set an intention.
So when I do my cards, the way that I just like to shuffle and say, what do I need to know today? Mm-hmm. So I just ask, what does everybody need to know today? And these two cards have just flipped out. So it is natural for my body to be well, and my life is supposed to be fun.
Cool.
So it is natural for my body to be well. You do not have to think specific positive thoughts about your body, but you have to not think specific negative thoughts. There you go. If you could never again think about your body and instead just think pleasant thoughts, your body would reclaim its natural place of wellness. How easy is that?
That's so good.
That is life-changing.
That is so life-changing.
So life-changing. I have, a handful of people in my life that definitely focus on the negative aspects of their health, and it's just a constant manifestation.
That's why I got into the oils.
Yeah. Yeah,
because, my family has a history of autoimmune, and I was feeling symptoms, and, I was in my 20s, and I'm like, no. So, the mindset thing was big. It was like, I choose not to go down this route.
I choose to be healthy, yeah. So my life is supposed to be fun. I love this.
I think I'll probably listen to this one.
Be easy about all of this. Life is supposed to be fun, It is Abraham's powerful desire that you return to your state of self-appreciation. We want you to feel love for your life, for the people of your world, and most of all, for yourself. There is great love here for you. So cool.
Beautiful. Okay.
Awesome.
Well, sending love, sending abundance, sending manifesting power.
Go and create
enjoy
a magical 2018, and don't forget the moon on Wednesday night. Wednesday, yeah. So, okay, bye.